Happy Friday, everybody. Out in the shop, working on the Model A tonight, making some progress. In between coats of epoxy again. I'm getting really close to paint. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to try really hard to get as much of this thing as I get done as possible in the next couple of days. Maybe even get the body onto the cart so I can finish the body work. Feels like I'm kind of jumping around a little bit to finish things because I'm actually in finishing stages on some stuff where I'm having to start on other things, but because of the way the rotisserie is set up, I have no choice. So doing some odds and ends pieces tonight. I also finished my inner wheel wells for the 56. Since I was spraying black epoxy and that's the finished coat that's going to have on it, that's what I'm doing. So I'll give you a look at what we did tonight. I don't know, like I got a mouse in my pocket or something. What I got done today. Here's some of the inner, this is just the inner sheet metal basically that's going to be like kick panels and inner quarter panels that are just going to get screwed in and seam sealed in and then bed liner sprayed. And then I went ahead and I did the back sides of the doors in black epoxy for a couple of reasons. I want to have as much black on this thing as possible before I go to paint it, and this doesn't really matter as much because I'm actually going to do all this backsides in bed liner, with the exception of the area where the latch is. I will nicely mask that off. Oops! I'll nicely mask that off. Bed liner around it so I don't plug anything up with that. So it's just one light coat in that area. The rest of them turn out really nice. I mean, I should say really nice. They turned out decent enough for what they are and what I had to start with. These are the inner door panels. If you can see that or not. Just Eastwood black epoxy. I really like this stuff. I've actually almost gone through 2 gallons of it already. I will be ordering a third because I'll need it for Tessie. So and here is one of the inner skirts for the 56. So I'm leaving it black epoxy just like I did the radiator support for the car, for the wagon. These aren't perfect, and that wasn't the intention at all. They were sandblasted and epoxied like 4 or 5 years ago. When I first started working on it, it was like my first batch of parts that I sandblasted. And they just kind of been sitting dormant. Last summer, I think it was, the wheel, the tire side, actually got sprayed with bed liner spray. And these were just gray epoxy. Well, now they're black epoxy. If I had been thinking right from the get-go, I would have sprayed them black epoxy and they would have been done 4 years ago. But it's okay. They're not perfect. They're a little pitted here and there, but as you see it, it's still wet. But these will get put in just like that. I'll put the anti-squeak strips on for the fender, and the A-frame dust covers, and this is the driver's side. So this one won't go in quite yet because I have to finish my steering. The passenger side one is over here, and this one could go in and stay in. And they're really in great shape for original splash shields. They're really, really nice actually. They came with the fenders that I bought that were almost rust free. There's a little spot, I maybe won't even be able to see it. Well, right there, right that hole there, and there's a little spot like right in the middle there. You can see it in the camera or not, maybe not, but it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. It's under hood. It's a driver. So then I also did this week, this is going to be really hard to see since it's black. Let me grab a flashlight. Okay, and that'll shed some light on it. I went ahead and did the dash in black epoxy as well. A couple of reasons. One reason because I did a few spots of body work on it, and I wanted to make sure that they looked okay. This is as close to satin black as I'm gonna get. Also had to do something with the column drop bracket, which still isn't perfect, but I'm gonna mask that off. And the tube, this tube is actually gonna get bed liner spray, as is the firewall, the floor, etc. I did some seam sealing last night. Just I knocked down some high spots and some wells. I just sealed it up. Not that it matters if it leaks water. It doesn't have a roof anyways, but just to dress them out a little bit better. So the dash is looking really good. Very happy with the dash. That will just get finished sanded and painted with the rest of the car. And then I also did these areas on both sides, so I can screw those inner sheet metal panels in, and then they can stay in. So everything is wrapped in epoxy, inside, outside, however I can get to it. And then, like I said, did the firewall, which I'm going to have to fix a couple of spots once I burn the hole shut that the rotisserie is on, like right over, see them 4 bolts sticking out right there. That'll be a repair area, but it won't matter because it's going to get bed liner spray last. Inside is going to get done absolutely last. So this car will be painted while it's on the frame, and then bed liner will be the last thing to do before it goes away, which I'll do that here. I'm going to paint the car at the shop because I don't want to have to paint it twice. So dash is in final prime. Sheet metal is done deal. Doors are ready for final sand. They're in final prime. Parts for the wagon. I like that. I debated whether or not I should pull out the Eastwood Hot Rod Black and just paint them right away, but I didn't do that to the core support, and the core support's already in the car with the radiator hanging on it, so I want to try and stay somewhat consistent, and it is what it is. So it'll be fine. So yeah, that's my progress for tonight. Had a little bit of a spray gun problem. You notice the floor. Don't you hate it when your nozzle drips? I don't know what the hell was going on, but I was using my really super awesome high dollar Napa Tornado 1.4 gun, and all of a sudden it just started leaking all over the place. And apparently there was a chunk of shit in the nozzle that did not allow the needle to seat, and it just kind of leaked all over the frickin' place. And yeah, it looked, if that had been red paint, it would look like somebody got murdered in here. You could see my trail. I actually finished spraying before I even fixed it. As long as you had air going through it, it wouldn't drip. So I just kept the hammer down, and you might notice, sidetrack, how gravelly this looks right here. It's actually overspray from the bed liner spray that's on the back side, but when that's in the car, you don't see that. This actually faces the firewall, so you'll never see that. And if you do, well, good for you. It's not going to be a show car, or I shouldn't say that it's a show car. I'm going to take it to car shows, but I don't feel that either one of these will really be a judge-worthy car. But we'll see. Real happy with that. That's awesome. That means I can put them on and they can stay on when I'm to that point, or put them in storage until I'm ready for them. I'm hoping to have this Model A. Turn around here. I'm hoping to have the Model A done by the end of August and out of my life. For a couple of reasons. I believe there's a car show at the end of September. I think that this car could potentially make it to. Maybe. It would just be wiring, plumbing, cages, and upholstery, which is just seats. So never done. And I would like some time yet this fall to really gut the shop here and clean, and then get on Tessie, get the roof. My goal is to have paint on the roof before there's frost on the ground, because then I got all winter to putz and put stuff back together and whatever. I am not going to do any body work on the sheet metal that's going to get bolted onto this, other than just making it black. I do need to put a patch panel in one of the fenders so I can mount a headlight, but otherwise, like, I'm just going to stuff them back down and spray them black epoxy and probably jam them with the Hot Rod Black, and I want to bolt the car together. I really don't care at this point if there's dents, dings, scratches, rust patches, whatever. I don't care. I want to drive this car. So that's it. Short update. And I expect to be back out here tomorrow night and getting some of these parts out of my way and cleaning shop. I'll maybe even hang the doors on the body just to get them out of here, perhaps. And then we'll see. We'll go from there. So if things go well, this will be on a body cart by the end of the weekend. We'll see how that plays out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the new subscribers. Awesome. Thank you. We're up to like 316, which is you know, compared to the other channels that I watch, is nothing, but to me it's a big deal. So I appreciate it. Thanks very much. Have a great weekend. I will catch you on the next update. See ya.